Hello and welcome BitMonger family, BitMonger here. In today's report, we will be looking quickly at Bitcoin's price, the dump that's been going on, and my forward expectations. I do expect massive volatility coming into this next week. Some other news in terms of China and what's going on there. There could be a big dump on the way. We'll also take a quick look at the M2 money supply. And let's go ahead and get into it. So we can see right here, Bitcoin is just trading just under 114K. Ethereum did come down. It's trading currently just under 3,500. XRP is at 288. BNB at 750. Solana is trading at 161. So there was quite a big downturn. I mean, if you look here on the 7-day, we can see that it had some pretty big drops, in particular Solana. I did have a bid order get hit on my leverage play, and that's it's up nicely right now. I'll probably be taking profits on it soon because I do expect markets to possibly come down further. So real quick here, looking at Bitcoin, we can see it came down and exactly touched. I mean, if we zoom in here, we can see it exactly touched this previous top from where it had broken out. Right here at 112, it came down and touched that and then bounced right off of it. So if you put an order in there like I had recommended before, well done on you. Catch the bounce. Now it could come back down. You know, it's very possible it could come down further. Quite a bit actually, based on what I'm seeing. So the next area of interest that we'd be looking at, you can see these marks here on the line. So it bounced here right at 111,921 on this blue line. The next level down that I see right here, you can see it completely touched right here. So this is a strong area of support where I could see it coming back down to, and that's right here at 110,594. Next level down, we can see this area too was support. It ranged in this area for quite some time, and that's at 107,930. Call it 108K. Now, if that drops further, then we're looking down here at a very strong level where it ranged quite a bit, and you can see it came down here and bounced off this before. And that is at 105,170. And if that breaks through, then the next zone would be like right around 103,457. Call it 103,500. So those are the areas that I would be looking at and where it could possibly come down to. And let's take a look at this. We can see, if we draw here, from where it topped out at to where it is now. Wait a second. It got right down to, it dropped a total of roughly 9%. Now, 9% is not a huge move in terms of crypto at all. You know, a 20% move is, in fact, very, very common within crypto. It does have that kind of volatility. So if we look at this and we were to bring it down 20% from that top, we are looking at, look at that, right down to that bottom mark, right down there, right at 98,400 roughly. That tip would be. So would that be out of the question? No. But I do think that there would be massive buying pressure coming in. Anything in the low 100s, and especially if it dips below 100K, I would imagine people stepping in to buy it. So those are things to be considering. We can see over here these other altcoins have bounced, the ones that I've been talking about. They've all had a nice bounce. ETH has bounced up 3%. Sol is up 1.2%. Arrow's up 3%. Axelar is up 3%. Ondo's up 4%. Camino's up 3%. Jupiter's up 3.2%. Helium still is down, you know, 0.25%. Sui's up 3.3%. Zeus is down still 1/3%. These are the coins that I've been eyeballing and that I'm interested in, and I do have spot positions in. So let's go ahead and take a look at the liquidation heat map on Bitcoin, and we can see here that it right now, if they're hunting to liquidate these guys, we got about $56 million to be liquidated at the price of $111,692. So that might, you know, it could come back down here to liquidate those guys. You know, the next liquidation level on the shorts would be way up here, all the way at, was that 115K roughly? And it's at 42 million. So I would, you know, my gut tells me that it might come back down here. We'll see. I think this next week the volatility will be great. We got a lot of, you know, poor news that came out. Let's take a look at this one. And again, the SEC chairman, Paul Atkins, Project Crypto. This is really bullish news, guys. I mentioned it yesterday, but I really believe that this is massive, guys. So keep this in mind. Keep the long-term mindset in play, because it's being adopted and this is not going anywhere. And crypto is going to play a huge role in the future, whether it be Bitcoin being like a reserve asset, possibly like the next gold. Maybe in the future it will be the underpinning of currencies, or potentially a currency, the global reserve currency. Now, I don't know, that might be going a bit too far, but would it be strange if that were to happen? Not really. Next, let's take a look at this. This is the M2 growth, and we can see that it did fall. You know, M2 came down, and that is a problem, guys. Seeing M2 drop like that is not a good sign. So this could be, you know, it's usually about a 60 to 90 day lag. So we could expect some downturn going forward. This is another issue too, and this isn't that big, really. I mean, anybody that's been in crypto for a long time knows China has banned cryptocurrency many, many times, but it did come out again. You know, it's probably a nothing burger, because let's face it, it's happened so many times, people are just gotten numb to it. But this one is a little frightening. And here we have this. China's crypto liquidation plans to reveal its grand strategy. China plans to liquidate confiscated crypto through Hong Kong exchanges isn't simply a policy. It's to control global digital asset markets and to outmaneuver the U.S. And this is a little bit frightening, guys, because make no mistake, China does control Hong Kong, and they will use this to potentially liquidate the markets. And if that happens, we could see a pretty big dump. The amount of Bitcoin that was confiscated is roughly $13 to $14 billion. And if they were to all of a sudden liquidate that on the market, it could potentially crash the markets. And in that event, I could see it coming back down and touching this spot, you know, if that were to happen. So that's something to keep an eye on, guys. So yeah, I think right now what we just need to do is hold tight, watch the markets, see what happens on Monday going into this next week with the stock market. Bitcoin and crypto is still, you know, very correlated to the NASDAQ. So if that comes off and starts to come down, I don't think Bitcoin will be spared the carnage. In fact, it's usually Bitcoin, it can be a leading indicator based on those jobs report that came out on Friday towards the end of the week, and seeing Bitcoin dump, I do expect the markets to not do well next week. So a lot of stuff to keep the eyes on. Look at fib levels, look at those bottom points, maybe put some orders in and keep the long-term goal. I do think we still will be in a bull market going towards the end of the year. So just, hold fast, stay firm, don't panic, and monger on.